everyone. My name is George, and on today's episode, I'm your host at Audio Podcast. We have a very special guest who is Mr. Eddie, who is a tourist coming right from America, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so we are going to have a conversation with him. Welcome to the show, Mr. Eddie.
Oh, thank you so much. So glad you guys invited me. Yay.
Yeah. So can you kindly tell us more about yourself, like your education background? And away from that, you can also tell us a bit more about your status, either way, if you are married or you are still single.
Oh yeah, divorced.
Divorced.
Yeah, not married. Yeah, I went to.
Okay, let's start from the education background. Then you start from.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I went to University of Hawaii at Manoa. I'm from America, from Honolulu, Hawaii, and I got my degree in communicology, the study of communication, at the University of Hawaii, Manoa, and went for a master's degree, and I used to teach there for a couple years. But but
nice.
You know, I like adventure, so I can't stay in one place. I gotta move. You know.
All right. Before we go to that one, now tell us a bit more about your status. If you are, like you said, you are divorced.
Oh yeah, I'm divorced. Yeah.
You don't mind sharing on?
No, it's good to get divorced. You know what I mean? People always treat it like it's a bad thing. I think divorce is a great thing. You know, people break up. It's part of it's natural. Yeah, it's like 70% of couples get divorced, but everyone's like, oh, divorce, like it's a stigma. No. It's worse to stay together with someone you're not meant to be with. It's better to split up and be happy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my perspective.
Now, do you have kids?
No kids. Never had kids.
No kids?
No kids, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm 43, no kids. In America, that's normal. In Africa, people are like, what?
What the hell? So are you looking forward to maybe start a new relationship in the near future, or maybe you'll...
No, I'm not looking for that at all. Yeah, at the moment, I'm completely focused on one thing right now, and that's walking across Africa. And I'm in a different town every day, so there's no time for relationships. People message me, oh, how are you? I'm not interested.
Exactly.
Frankly not. Yeah.
All right. So now what really inspired you to start this tourism thing that you're doing, like traveling from all the way from America, coming to Africa by foot? What really inspired you?
Yeah, good question. So my favorite movie as a kid was The Gods Must Be Crazy.
The Gods Must Be Crazy.
I grew up loving Africa and wishing I could come to Africa and imagining going on a safari and seeing lions and all this kind of stuff, you know. My whole life I dreamed of Africa. I always thought that I would, you know, come a lot, and I just never did. I don't know. It's like, for us, it's really far away.
Exactly.
America's far, and Hawaii's even further. I'm from a little island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Like, if you drill a hole straight through the center of the earth, you'll get to my house, you know? Exactly. So I couldn't be further away if I tried. And so it just took a long time, but I had this dream of walking across Africa on foot. And it was like several years before I finally said, you know what, I'm doing it. And I bought a plane ticket, and I came to Cape Town, South Africa.
South Africa. So which one is your first African country to walk to?
Yeah, so South Africa. So
South Africa.
Yeah, well, I didn't walk to South Africa. I flew to South Africa, to Cape Town, and from there I walked to Cape Agulhas, the southern tip of Africa. You know, where I got to see the Indian Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean meeting. They call it the farthest tip of Africa. And then from there, it was just my plan is to go north all the way across Africa to Cairo, Egypt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. That's very interesting. So now I'm sure while you're going to these places, different places, I'm sure there are challenges that you face as you are doing the tourism stuff. So now what are some of the challenges that you think? Yeah.
Well, right in the beginning, you know, walking is physically challenging. You got a big backpack, you got to carry everything with you.
Food.
Yeah, well, food, water, all that. So I got blisters right in the beginning, and that really slowed me down. I had to take a few days off and kind of recover that. But after that, no problem. I crossed the Great Karoo, and so there was a section where I had to go 250 Ks between towns, and there's nothing in between, you know, just a desert. Not a real desert. Maybe it's got proper desert, but it's called a semi-arid. I used to call it the desert, and the South Africans always corrected me and said, no, that's not a desert. It's the Great Karoo. But I had to go hundreds of kilometers without anything. So I had to carry food, water, and all that stuff with me as I went. And that was like difficult. But once I did that, everything felt easy. Now I get to a town and I meet people. It's always exciting to go to a new village and try different foods. And now our big challenge is like financial. I ran out of money about a month ago. So yeah, it's kind of hard to buy food when we don't have money, but people have been welcoming us. They cook us in shima. They say, come to my house.
Yeah. So how's been the experience being in Zambia? You mentioned of shima. How do you think of Nshima? Is it okay?
Yeah, and Shiba's good. It's good. It's good, classic, stable food. You can get it everywhere. It's very
Oh,
cheap, affordable. It's like I'm never buying in Nshima. I'm buying chicken, and then Nshima comes free.
All right. Just buy chicken, Nshima comes free.
Yeah.
Right. So now, talking of experience in Zambia, like you are in Zambia right now. What has been your experience being in Zambia?
Well, first off, it's been cool.
Okay.
Like these plants, this reminds me of home in Hawaii. We're in the tropics, and the plants and the trees and the environment, it's very similar to my hometown. So I feel welcome. But also the people have been really friendly. They've been really good to us. We learned a couple local greetings. You have a lot of languages here, 72 languages in Zambia.
Exactly.
But it's cool because it's an opportunity. Every person we meet, oh no, you must learn Bemba. Oh, you must learn, Shona. You must learn this or that.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of really fun.
Yeah. So do you really know any word, a Bemba word? Like,
yeah, Molishani. Yeah, Swatotela. That's about it.
So Swatotela means what in English?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, you're learning, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit at a time.
Yeah. So now from Zambia now, like you're in Zambia currently, which other country are you planning to go to?
We're headed to Tanzania.
Tanzania.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the journey.
Yeah. Of course. I've been at it for 7 months.
Okay.
And so it's going to take about 3 more weeks to get to Tanzania.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we're headed, I want to go see Kilimanjaro.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we're going to be able to climb Kilimanjaro because they charge money to be able to do that. And we have no budget, but we're going to go at least see it. And then we're headed to Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we have to do is we have to avoid the South Sudan because of, I've been advised to avoid some areas, middle of DRC and South Sudan because of war and stuff.
Right.
So we're going kind of eastern, we're going around those areas. So we're going to northern Sudan and then Egypt.
Mm. Okay, that's really nice. Yeah, so now you've said you'll be going to Tanzania, but while you've been in Zambia,
Mm-hmm.
what or rather how many provinces have you gone to apart from Luapula province?
Oh, I don't know how many provinces I've been through, but I mean, yeah, we went to Lusaka. So we walked once we entered Zambia, we walked to from Livingston.
Hmm.
We went to Lusaka, and that took about 2 weeks. I think it was 17 days.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that, to walk from Livingston to Lusaka. Then so from Lusaka to Kafue, where we did a cleanup. We engaged with the local community and they walked about 20K. We picked up trash on the side of the road and had a little event. And then we went to Kapiri Muposhi. And then from there, can you remember help me with the towns?
We're taken care of by Soldier's sister.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shop. It was just after Kapiri. We stayed there for 2 days actually. Got there on Saturday and rested.
Yeah, Kapiri, Makushi.
Really sorry, just to hold you like yeah. So
my name is Ngobile Mkwananzi.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm into conservation. I'm a conservation educationist.
Okay.
I did my school at National University of Science and Technology,
Mm-hmm.
and taught at Bulawayo Polytech and National University of Science and Technology as well.
Exactly.
Teaching entrepreneurship and business information systems.
Okay.
But I felt like I was trapped inside the walls. I love adventure, so I started walking. I walked from Matopo to Victoria Falls, I think about 6 times. And then last year, I walked across Zimbabwe from Bay Bridge to Victoria Falls. And when I did that walk, author from Cape Town heard about it and donated about 6,000 reading books for school kids primary. So while I was busy distributing those books, because my program is to empower little ones, catch them young, so that we teach them how they can conserve and use our resources sustainably. So I'm promoting conservation through conservation clubs in schools. We visit schools, we start a conservation club, and then we have activities. So while I was busy in Bulawayo distributing books through social media, I heard about Eddie coming to Zimbabwe. And then one of the guys who is an endurance walker as well in Zimbabwe had already joined him. He reached out to me and said, we are coming to Bulawayo. There is a guy who will be walking from Bulawayo to Victoria Falls. I'm with him. So where are you? And I said, I'm in Bulawayo. Then they said they're arriving tomorrow. I said, okay, I'll wait for you. That's when we got to meet up with Eddie, welcome them into Bulawayo, and then from there we work together to the calls, and here we are.
Wow. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, Mr. Eddie, you were saying?
Yeah, can you repeat the question? I don't remember.
Oh, so I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know where the provinces start and end. I don't know the borders, but it's. I'll tell you what I've seen. Some of the coolest stuff I've seen. Livingston is super cool. Big Falls obviously is like huge tourist attraction. Is amazing. But we got the opportunity to stop at Kasanka National Park, which is really cool. Our friend over here, Scott, took us there so we could see it, and we got to go on a little wee safari and see animals and stuff. And then we stopped at Samfia. We got to go to the beach there. The cool thing about that is, so I'm from an island surrounded by ocean, but the last 7 months I haven't seen any bodies of water. You know, I haven't seen an ocean. You know, the biggest I've seen is a big river. And so we just jumped in the water and swam out almost like almost a half a K at least, maybe even almost a kilometer out, just straight out in the water. You know, just felt surrounded by water again. It's such a good feeling for an islander, you know, to jump in the ocean. You know, that's what it felt like, because it's just a lake, but when you look out, you can't see the other side, so it feels like an ocean.
Oh, yeah. So apart from Tanzania, what other countries are you planning to go to? Like, so after Tanzania, how many countries are you targeting to go to?
Yeah, so Kenya, Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Now, you'll be going to Tanzania. You've mentioned the other countries that you'll be going to, but we'll stick to Zambia since I'm Zambian myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was the experience whilst you were in Lusaka?
Experience in Lusaka was pretty cool. It's a big city, you know, and so we're in the bush, and all of a sudden, boom, big city, you know. So it's like kind of overwhelming, like walking through Cairo Road, and everyone's selling this and that, and cars rushing by. But we had made some friends, and they called and made connections for us. So we had a place to stay, and then in Lusaka, we connected with a group of long distance walkers.
Exactly.
They love to just go out and walk 50 Ks, you know. And so we met with them, and we had like a meet and greet, and we all kind of hung out and bonded. And then they joined us the next day. They walked about 20 kilometers with us, from, where did we start? From basically from Cairo Road. We took the Great North Road, and they walked about 20 Ks with us. They walked more or less to 10 mile, something like that, you know, just to support us, which is really cool.
Would you remember the same walkers that you're talking about? Would you remember their names?
Yeah, Kathy. Yeah, I remember Kathy. She was the one who walked with Rhino, man. She's the fastest of their group, and he's the fastest of our group. So they kind of hung out together. There's a guy named Danny who came with us. Sarah. Do you remember the other names?
No, I can't remember some.
They'll be disappointed if I can't remember the names. Yeah.
Exactly. So you have to remember.
Yeah.
There's Mwenya.
Mwenya.
Yes.
Okay.
Mwenya was one of them. I think a few just walked with us in town, and then these three, they walked with us all the
whole way. Yes. Yeah. So our friend Fred, who owns Cacello Cafe, he organized that and put it together. And so we want to shout out to Cacello Cafe, you know, for organizing that and bringing the walkers together. But the experience in Lusaka was cool. We connected with the local community, and it's been like that all the way. We connected with the local community in Kafue. We connected with the locals in Livingston. And so we didn't feel alone. I used to feel alone when I was in South Africa. I was by myself, and I didn't know anyone. And ever since I got to Zambia, it's been like a parade, you know. There's always been people there to greet us when we get to a town. There's always people to walk with us as we leave town. And there's always new things to see and make new friends as we go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in Lusaka, we managed to plant trees in collaboration with the Lusaka City Council and ICAO Foundation.
Okay.
So we went to Munali Girls, where we planted about 25 trees. Since it was Women's Month, we were trying to promote the girl child.
Okay.
So that's why we chose to go to Munali and plant those trees.
Yeah.
Wow, beautiful. So apart from Lusaka City, which other, I don't know, you are in Wapla right now, but which other town did you go to apart from Lusaka? You said, is it Livingston?
Yeah. So we started in Livingston, and we walked all the way from there to Lusaka. So we went through Choma, we went through Manze, and we stopped at...
How was the experience in Monze?
Yeah, Manze's cool. We went to a little place called Family Safari. And they sponsored us a night and some meals, and they let us go and check out the lions, and we saw the crocodiles and stuff. That was really cool. Like, as a tourist, I'm really enjoying the touristy things.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny because back where I'm from, home in Hawaii, the locals don't like to do the touristy stuff. We let the tourists do that, we kind of live our lives. But as a tourist, it's fun. It's fun to go to the beach. It's fun to go on safari. It's fun, to try this food and that food and go meet people and do this kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, how did you? I don't know. How did you find yourself in Wapula province? Because exactly like
Yeah.
Kawam, how did you find yourself in Kawam?
Yeah, well, we're far away, right? So we walked to Serenge. That's as far as we walked to, and then there's another guy that's from the same town I'm from. Yeah, he's from Hawaii, and so we had met with our buddy Fred, who owns Coachella Cafe. He said, "You're from Hawaii? I know a guy from Hawaii," and he called him up, and we talked, and he said, "Look, what's the odds of two Hawaiians being in Zambia at the same time? About one in a zillion." And so he actually drove down all the way to Serenge, which is like a 17-hour drive or something like that, and picked us up, took us to Kasanka National Park, took us to Samphia Beach, and said, he was telling us about Kawambo. We weren't originally going to come. We were just going to go as far as Mansa. But then after he's talking about the waterfalls, he's talking about the people and the town and the Rhino bar. And he's, you got to meet these people. You got to come and see this place. And so we're going to go later today. I think we're going to go check out one of the waterfalls nearby. And so we've spent a couple days already in town, and we'll probably spend one or two more before we leave. Normally we get to one town one day and we leave the next day. But here in Kawambo, we're having such a good time. We want to stay for a couple days. And so it's changed our route. However, I looked at the map, and the distance from where we walked to Serenge to Nakonde, the border, was the same distance as it is from here to Nakonde. So it won't make a difference. We'll walk from here to Nakonde, and it's the same distance walking. So basically, we'll get to Tanzania the same day, the same time, and it doesn't affect our mileage. It doesn't matter that he drove us north, because we'll walk southeast, and then it won't affect the total mileage of the journey. So that's an important concept. When you're walking across the continent, some people, they want to walk every single step of the way. And to me, it's not about that. It's about walking the same distance. As long as I walk the 11,000 kilometers, it doesn't matter if I walk, here to there to there. It doesn't matter how I go. I could go any route, and I can see anything I want to see along the way. I'm giving myself that freedom, in order to do that. But by the end, we'll walk the 11,000 kilometers, maybe even more. And it frees us to see the stuff that we want to see.
Exactly. Okay. So now I'm sure the people, the viewers that are watching this interview right now, they might also have an interest to do what you are doing, walking from different countries to the other. What would be your word of encouragement to those people that are also looking forward to venture into tourism?
Yeah, it's a great question. I just get started. Start with where you are and start with what you have. So it's kind of huge to go, okay, I'm going to walk from Cape to Cairo. That's a huge journey. It's not my first. This is my fourth big journey. My first one was across America. So I started by walking across my own country. I walked from San Francisco to New York, and that took 8 months. That was a big challenge and a big thing. But you could walk from, imagine walking from here to, I don't know, Mansa. Something like that. That's a big challenge. So many hundreds of kilometers, and then you get the confidence and you build the skill, and you learn that you don't need so much. A lot of people, when they go on a journey like this, they pack too much stuff in their backpack, but you don't need all these things. You only really need a little bit. The less you carry, the easier, and I would say just get started and have fun and learn how to enjoy the journey.
Yeah. So now, thank you so much for the beautiful answer that you've given. But now, as you are traveling to these countries, do you have certain papers that you have to travel?
Just a passport really is all you need. You get a visa in each country as you go. I'm not anticipating any difficulties until I get to Egypt. Egypt and America don't always have the most friendly relationship, so I may have some challenges crossing the border there, but we'll deal with that when we get there.
Beautiful.
That's still 7 months away.
Beautiful. Wow. So how many weeks, days, or months are you planning to stay here in Kawambo?
Oh, I was thinking just like maybe 2 more days. Today's Thursday, right?
It's too quick.
So yeah, I know, right? I mean, this is a beautiful town, and the people have been really cool. So it'd be nice to spend like a week or something like that. But
Exactly.
I kind of have I got an internal clock, and it always wants me to keep going, you know. And so there's another town ahead and another town, and we still have a long journey. We don't want to overstay our welcome as well, you know.
So the other question, I know it's normal as you are traveling from a different country to the other. Don't you face challenges where maybe somebody between the two of you is unwell? Have you never like had?
Ooh, yeah, that could happen. So far, it hasn't. So far, we've been healthy and everything's been all right. If something happens, one of us get, most likely thing that'll happen is malaria, right? As we get further north, one of us could get malaria. In that case, you just stop. You stop. Yeah, you take your medicine.
You carry medicines. You carry all those things.
Not yet. We'll get that eventually. As it becomes more relevant, we deal with it, right? So yeah, you just deal with every challenge that comes. One of us gets sick, we stop and we deal with that. If there's an injury that prevents us from keeping going, I don't know. We'll talk about that when it happens. But when I walked across America, I broke my shoulder, and actually it's still broken. You can still see it. I could show you if you want to take a look. You can see my collarbone sticking out. And so I went to a doctor, and the doctor said, your walk is done. You can't put a backpack on a broken shoulder, man. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're done. And I looked at my friends, and we went to a different doctor. It was a physical therapist, and he gave me a special brace, and I changed my backpack. And what they did is they slung my arm up like this. And so I was able to continue. We took 4 days off for rest, and then they put me that special sling, and I continued walking. And once we did that, we got a ton of followers. Because before, no one really cared. But once you hit a challenge and you overcome that challenge, then people know that you're serious, you're determined, and your perseverance will overcome any obstacle.
So if people out there would like to be seeing what you're doing out there, I'm sure you have the platform which you would want to share to the viewers out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if it's for Facebook, IG, which one is the username which they should use to?
I think the easiest thing to find us online would be Facebook. We've got a page called Cape to Cairo.
Cape to Cairo.
Yeah, Cape to Cairo. Both him and I have our own individual Facebook pages. We have Instagram, we have TikTok. And usually if you just type in walking across Africa, Cape to Cairo, you'll find us. But my name is Eddie Bond. And so people type that in. On YouTube, it's called On Walkabout. On Instagram, it's Walkabout Eddie. On Facebook, just Eddie Bond or Cape to Cairo. And on TikTok, it's Edwin, which is my real name, Edwin Eddie Bond.
So being in Kawambo, have you created...
Sorry, I want to say one more thing. For my friend here, it's Mkwa Conservation Education. But if you look up Cape to Cairo, you'll find us, and we'll have links to all that stuff. And people can follow us via Cape to Cairo.
Wow, beautiful. I'm sure the viewers out there have gotten the username that they should use on Facebook. But now, being in Kawambo, have you created any content kind of stuff where, let's say you go to town, then you create certain content, then you have to put it there on social media? Can we find it?
We started shooting a little bit today as we walked around this morning, and we're planning to go shoot. Not just great content. We're here to live and experience, and then we'll pull the camera out and get this and that thing, whatever. But we just want to say a big thank you to the Rhino Bar. They've sponsored us. They fed us a bunch of meals. All our friends put us up, in the lodge and taking care of us. And we want to say thanks to Kawambo Bakery. They gave us a bunch of, just down this way. We stopped in this morning, and they said, here. And they gave us some buns and some drinks, as we were walking around this morning. So we'll be around Kawambo for a couple days. What we're thinking about doing is doing a cleanup, just walking around town with a big bag and just picking up trash off the side of the road, just greeting people and saying hello as we start our morning, and seeing a few more sites, meeting a few more people. We're gonna meet some people tomorrow, and then we might get going again on the weekend. But it's time to make that content. Yeah.
Obviously, you need a lot of content, for people to get to understand what you do. It's content that has to be put out on social media. Yeah, so more content, then we're good to go. Mr. Eddie and Mr.
Rhino Man.
It has been very, very, very good to have you on this show. Thank you so much. This becomes the end of our interview. What would be your last words as a tourist, you and Mr. Rhino? Rhino? Oh, yeah.
Well, first off, I just want to say thank you. I'm incredibly We're incredibly privileged to get to do this walk. Very few people have ever done it, and it's a big challenge and all that. But really, I mean, it's a humongous privilege to get the opportunity to come and walk through your country and be treated like an ambassador, to be treated like a celebrity, be treated well by all the people that we met. We feel really humbled and really grateful for this experience. I mean, if you were to pay for every single experience that we're having, it would cost $1 million US at least, and we're getting to do it on a shoestring budget, and so that's really huge. If we have one message, it's very simple: we are one. Despite our diversity, despite where we come from, despite the color of our skin, there's no difference between us. We are the same. We are one.
Thank you so
So my last word will be to encourage our African brothers and sisters. As we travel along the road, I've noticed that we have this culture of throwing litter out of moving traffic. So I'm pleading with them that litter belongs to the bin, not to our highways. Let's keep our countries clean, not only the highway. Let's keep Kawambo clean. Let's keep Zambia clean. Let's keep Africa clean, so that when people like Eddie come, they see that our continent is a clean continent. And mostly that litter is not just litter. You can start a business out of collecting trash and recycle that. So I think it's one thing that we have to teach ourselves to be responsible citizens of Africa. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching, viewers. Make sure to share this video. Make sure to comment where you're watching from. And don't forget to follow all the podcasts. Thank you so much for watching. This is the end of our show.